you, Team Career Guide, for this opportunity, and welcome to the esteemed panelists. Very fortunate and humbled to be moderating such an elite panel. So, I learned something from Pranav. Pranav, thank you for that tip. We don't have too much time. So I'll try and keep this to the point and a little brief. Uh, Let me quickly start with this. Our topic being the future of hybrid online learning, right? Post-COVID, per se. Now, the corporate world has already been talking a lot about blended learning years back. But education sector per se, COVID taught it a lot, right? And I see you from different universities, deemed university, state-owned university. So help me understand the different perspectives of how each of y'all have dealt with this in the current scenario. What were your challenges? How have you scaled up to that? Would love to hear the perspectives. Why don't we start with you, Vinay, sir?
So, as you rightly said, this online teaching is there before also, and this online teaching has started way back in late 80s abroad. Then it started in India also. We had Indira Gandhi Open University, which has enrolled more than 4 lakh students, and most of these students were getting online education. But this post-COVID, this COVID which came and disrupted the entire world, so we were untouched and we had to adopt this online. And there were many challenges which came across, as most of our students are in rural areas of the country. We were not well equipped with the infrastructure. So even the teachers and the student doesn't know how to use the Google Meet or Zoom app. So there was no education, but still I'll appreciate the efforts of the different governments, both public and private. They taught the teachers whatever infrastructure was available. The education continued. There was no gap. The exams were late, but they were continued. So with the thing which has been adopted as a survival now has become a new norm. So this is the time when we see the less cases of COVID. So both government and the private players, I'm hopeful they are working on the technologies and making this hybrid learning more meaningful and more adaptable.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Would love to hear from you, Devendra Narayan, sir.
See, definitely COVID taught us a lot. Even in our university, what happened the day the government announced the lockdown, because we were already using video lectures for our students. So for us, it was not very difficult to adopt the online teaching immediately. But yes, this is a fact that technology transformation from university to individual students' home, because the net facility, because we are both university and a rural area. Especially the Saharanpur University is in a remote part of the, although it is only 180 kilometers from Delhi, but yes, a lot of problems are there in terms of technology. I mean, when you talk about telecommunication. So students are really facing problem, but yes, they cooperated with us. The university faculty work very hard. We use almost every possible way of communicating with the student at that time. And over a period of time, yes, slowly and gradually things will develop, and now we are very comfortable with all sort of online education. We have our own lecture series, we have technology available with us. Students are comfortable now. And moreover, thanks to the government also, because as per the new education policy, it has already been declared that the future of education is going to be in a blended learning. And the 60-40 ratio is going to be like that. And it's already been approved from the UGC and regulatory bodies. The benefit of going online education is, as we all know, that in education, there is a skill part and one is a practical theory part. We are always advocating in Shobit University that skill to be taught by the industry people. And because of this online teaching facility, now it is more easier for all the university and institution to reach corporates to get live lectures from the people who are on floor. So that is the benefit of this blended learning now in future, please.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, sir. Let's hear from you.
Yeah. So it's the irony that whenever I get a mic, somebody will always, this has happened, somebody will say, time is limited. So it also has repeated here. So I want to ask audience a question, the question that, how many of you would want a conventional answer or an unconventional answer to your response? Yeah, that I expected anyway. So we also had, as a deemed university, we had this issue. And the response time had to be very, very fast because state sector, they will still survive. Deemed universities will be doomed if you do not have quick response. So what initially the management decided was first allocate a corpus of fund. A huge corpus of fund was allocated. Second, this massive training started. And then instead of the conventional platforms, they first started with WebEx. And there was a huge challenge. The data usage in WebEx was very, very huge. So, but still management decided on that. So what happened was, initial response was that fund was allocated and then training was done. It was massive training, and then we all had to, students were given the second level of training. So when we talk about COVID time, it was the new normal. Now we are in the post-COVID time, we are talking about the new next normal. What is that we should be concerned about? So learning, if it is in the online mode, whether it is hybrid or this thing, I just want 2 points to highlight. One is, when the learning is in the online mode, we observed that 2 kinds of responses occurred in the department, in a particular department called the professional studies. I'm only talking about this department. Now, first finding is, whenever the regular classes were done, the response was same like everywhere else in the world, in India. But we had a second aspect. The second aspect is, every program of the department is integrated with an international professional body, be it ACCA or so many programs. So all the undergraduate programs which are integrated with a professional body, international professional body, we found that the students' performance in the integrated program, which was communicated through online mode, the result was almost double. Almost double compared to the regular program. See, for that year, we had CA finals, 27 students completed CA. Our CA pass percentage in foundation crossed 80%. Intermediate level, it touched 72%. CIMA, we became the global leaders. So all the professional bodies, the response was very high. So we were stunned. What is the reason? 2 reasons were there. Again, one is, they take the undergraduate program of a university very lightly. In fact, some set of students came to my door and said, before a particular professional exam was to happen, sir, we need 1 month leave. I said, you have for the undergraduate regular program, that we'll manage. So this is what the kind of seriousness. So probably if the online course that you are giving, if it attracts a lot of seriousness, then it makes a difference. I will keep on talking. So maybe, one more thing I'll say. Now, how do you ensure that real learning happens?
Yeah, so thank you for bringing that up. Actually, that was my next question to all 3 of you. So do continue. How do you make this learning effective? Because my own personal experience, and I've heard from a lot of friends and colleagues, is that the learning is probably not effective. Online exams, online studying, it's copy-paste, a lot of things happening. Let's not talk on this forum probably. But how do you, as a university, as regulators, as administrators, how do you make that effective? Very quickly, if I can have responses.
So, ma'am, it's a very right question. It is a big challenge.
Exactly.
And as a educator and all learned friend which are sitting here, we have to make the content more engaging, because the student who is attending the class, simultaneously they switch into Facebook or Netflix or Amazon. They find that content more engaging. So likewise, we have to make the education, the chapters engaging. We have to use the technologies like AI, virtual reality, cloud computing, and make our tutorials like in a manner which will engage the students more.
Sure. Thank you for that. Devendra sir, how about you?
Yeah, first of all, I'll just tell you, I think there's like some intention to put me in the middle of the people, because I represent both the university. I'm having one self-financed private university, and I'm representing one deemed university also. So I'm enjoying the both the things. So yeah, that's true, because deemed universities are really, they always, the statutory body always try to doom them. They're always looking forward to how, whereas the deemed universities are supposed to be most potential university in the country, because they are doing the very specific things. They are meant to do certain specific, like for example, in my university we have very two specific courses: biomedical engineering, agriculture technology, specialization in information technology. I don't think any other university in the country at UG level offering agriculture technology specialization in information technology, which is the demand of the world. Not, I'm talking about India only.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. Now come to the main point that yes, when we talk in terms of academics, what happened. It is not about the university only. It's not about higher education. We need to see from the school level also. The pre-COVID, I mean, during the COVID, school kids, I mean, they are really sufferer, because they're not able to understand how they respond to online education. And somewhere the same thing happened with the higher education student as well, because kid is a kid, whether a 6-year kid or 80 years old student. Student always remain a student. Because we are discussing prior to the session, somebody is asking something. So I said that I'm always happy to learn from the 6-year to 80 years student. Because for me as a teacher, when I was 25 years old and I'm teaching doing corporate training and teaching the general managers and vice president of BHCL and all, they all are 55 plus. तो और बाद में जब वो अपने बच्चों के साथ मुझे मिलवाते तो कहते कि he is our teacher. तो तब फील होता था कि yes, I am doing something good. So this thing is missing when we are talking about online education. Because जो connect होता है ना, जो emotional connect होता है, जो स्कूल में सबसे ज़्यादा required है, university और higher education may not be required, वो थोड़ा सा missing हो जाता है.
Right.
And that is what I'm telling you, that blended learning is very, very important, going to be successful, because वहाँ पे मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि we are going to have one advantage, that we are able to bring corporate to the university. जो bridging का gap है corporate और industry के बीच का, वो इससे कहीं ना कहीं पूरा होगा. And thanks to COVID, कि पूरी सभी, otherwise हम university, colleges, education, school, कोई भी online learning के बारे में नहीं सोचता, blended learning के बारे में नहीं बात होती.
Absolutely right.
ये एक हमें advantage मिला है कि जो gap है, जो bridge बनना था, जो नहीं बन पा रहा है, kahin na kahin we are able to fill that gap.
Right. Thank you so much for that and very valuable points. Very quickly, Biju sir, yours, and then we'll open questions to the audience.
Again, very quickly, she said. So I'll go in the unconventional mode again. Sure. Learning again. How do you ensure learning? So many people concentrate learning on the academic structure and pedagogy. Right. So we thought we will take a different route. We decided to focus on the evaluation side. So when evaluation becomes stronger, learning becomes automatically quality oriented. Now why CA program attracts the best of the students and you get the best of the, right. Because the evaluation, 3% or 4% is the pass percentage. So we decided to focus on the evaluation side. Now when you focus on evaluation in a digital age, we are at a loss, because they are netizens. The students are smart enough. So we had to ensure that they don't have plagiarism, copying, and all those things. So we had to use a very, very strong platform. Now, one more second. So that is one part. So when you concentrate on the evaluation side, naturally the quality of the kind of learning goes much, much beyond. Now, let me tell you, before COVID struck, 5 years prior to it, I proposed to the management that we will have entire process of evaluation on a digital mode. Everybody laughed at me, and I thought we will do it in the department, because now I represent two departments, and together we have a pool of 5,400 students in DPS and the Department of Commerce. So I said, what was the reason for my proposal was, we have mid-semester, end-semester examination. And I find that on a digital mode, if it is done, I can save the quality time of my faculty members. What do I see? We have 24,000 students in the campus. So what happens is, when I walk around in the main road, I find most of my brilliant doctorate, postdoctorate faculty members are standing like a spear on the classroom, invigilating.
Okay.
How much time?
And then
one more thing.
hours correcting those.
And the evaluation, I see what the students do is, they are so smart, they can anticipate what questions are going to come. They will just do a 2-day study, Xerox it, and then they score. And faculty again spend time on reading all this time. So digital evaluation is the key. But then it did not happen. But we are going to
But
implement
now it's seeing the
We are
light
going
of
to
the day.
implement it.
So kudos on that, sir, to you.
One
Wonderful.
point,
Sure,
a
last
short point. See, India is aiming to become a knowledge economy. And the limitation to it is, we have a limited infrastructure confined to metros and mini metros. There is scarcity of good faculties. But with this hybrid model, we can address that. For example, ours is a residential university in Greater Noida, spread in over 500 acres of land, but it is meant for only for 5,000 students. So this year we are thinking of increasing the number of seats, and we'll benefit these students who are deprived of getting those benefits. Likewise, the IITs or IIMs, we can teach, we can reach out to the more students, and they can benefit out get benefit out of the existing infrastructure. So hybrid is the new norm which is going to sustain.
Right. Thank you so much for those insightful thoughts. We'll open to audience for questions, please. Yes.
You can speak out. We'll hear.
My question is like, to give really great suggestions as to, even if we have to switch to hybrid learning, how we can modify the evaluation process, and that can take care of the concerns that we're going through. Any suggestions you have how to manage the skill gap that has come in the past 2 years plus?
Yeah. So this is a very valid question, and we have seen that the quality has done a huge drop. Now, when you start asking the students to evaluate, what we find is the students, they will not take it seriously. So that is where I talked about the social commitment part, I said. So what we have done is, we have adopted a village, and we have also adopted some rural colleges, and we ask the students, go teach them. And we spend a lot of money on them. In fact, the number is mind-boggling. That kind of money is being trained for the students. So when the student goes to train some other college or rural, they will do a huge bit of learning themselves. I've seen them preparing so well. So the quality drop can be arrested by thinking or having a novel approach. This is only one method. There are umpteen number of ways where you can ensure that novelty is maintained. And add to that one more point, let me add. See, all these professional bodies are so happy with us. They say the results are very good. But we are not happy when students pass, complete. We want to see that the students who have completed the qualification, we have quite a large number of students who have even completed this CIMA, all these international, even in the second year of their undergraduate study, or third year, even before they complete their graduation, we ensure that beyond the qualification, they have a learning attached to it. That is what, and that is the key. And we get around 300, 350 companies come to recruit the students. If you want to increase your corporate employability, you have to go back to the students and focus. Thank you.
Just give me a small example, just small example of that. You know, normally what happens, students are not having a habit of asking questions. If you really want that they should increase their skill, we have to teach them to how to ask questions. You know what, I took an orientation class, give a small example and just do it here only. You know, normally what I do it exactly like this. What is this?
Pen.
What is this?
Pen.
This is pen. Is it clear to everybody? Yes? So as a professor, the teacher, thank you very much, class is over. I go to my room, students go in canteen, they enjoy their time. When the paper comes, questions comes like, what are the pen? What is the pen? Type of pen, brands of pen, uses of pen. तो बच्चा क्या करेगा? वो वाइस चांसलर के ऑफिस में जाता है, देवेंद्र नारायण सर हाय सर सारा क्वेश्चन पेपर जो आउट ऑफ कोर्स आया है. Isn't it? This is what exactly happens. So I tell them, see, if you have to come to my class, मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ कि कल मैं ये पूछूंगा. And this is what I used to do when I am in college. और मेरा ग्रुप जो था कॉलेज में यही करता था. जो हमारा टीचर हमें बोलता कि कल मैं एक्स पढ़ाऊंगा, तो 2 चैप्टर एक्स के आगे और 2 चैप्टर एक्स के पीछे हम पढ़ के जाते थे. टीचर से एक्स वाले के आगे वाले क्वेश्चन पूछते थे. टीचर ऑल्सो नोज कि ये बदमाशी करेंगे. सो इट इज़ वेरी गुड थिंग्स विच हैपन इन द क्लास. कम्युनिकेशन बहुत अच्छा होता था. सो दैट इज हाउ वी स्टार्ट लर्निंग हाउ टू आस्क क्वेश्चन. सो अगर आप टीचर हैं तो आपको अपने स्टूडेंट्स को क्वेश्चन पूछना सिखाना होगा. एंड एज अ गुड काउंसलर you have to learn the art of probing. You have to understand the difference between the open-end question and closed-end questions. The only then you're able to get what exactly you and your client or student wants from you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And one last question from that gentleman.
Yes. I've been asked to keep it very quick. Before I ask my question, I want to say I'm very honored to have distinguished faculty who are head of deemed universities in India. So I'm going to make a very bold and ambitious statement. And I really feel, I would really want to, let me make the statement first. So I've lived abroad, and I was told that Indians spend a lot of money sending their students to study abroad. If they spend the same money in uplifting poverty, we would be a richer country. But it never happened. However, I'd always told them India was a country where we had Takshashila, and people from China and Japan used to come and study because we had amazing teachers who would ask कि पेड़ पे क्या है, क्या दिखता है. So quality of teaching is very important. जब तक अर्जुन ने नहीं कहा कि मुझे आँख दिखती है, तब तक सवाल चलते रहे. I think that's the kind of India we had. And with future of hybrid learning, I think we have amazing opportunity. Only if the quality of teaching is taken to that level where our teachers ask questions and don't say कि ये पेड़ है, ये टहनी है, और ये चिड़िया है, ये इसकी आँख है. I think online learning has become that. And I think as leaders at deemed universities, if India can become Takshashila, I believe post-COVID, our country has an amazing opportunity. And that's a very hopeful statement I wish to share with you. And obviously, you are at the forefront of making this happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Adding to the list, it is not Takshashila alone. We had Nalanda, we had Vikramapuri, we have Odantapuri, all those were illustrious institutions. But unfortunately, we could not foster that tradition of learning by questioning. In fact, it is said in Nalanda, the entrance examination is taken by the security at the gate. They would ask questions, and only if the candidate answers properly will be allowed inside. Okay, thank you.
Waiting for that.
Even in today also, please don't underestimate Indian education system. Most of the CEO of the top-notch country in the company in the world, they did their at least undergraduate program from this country only.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a quiz question, I think. The
So please, don't underestimate it. The only thing is that water flow with the slope. ये tradition है. It is always happening कि ईस्ट का रुझान वेस्ट की तरफ होता है. आप कभी से उठा के देख लीजिए. मिडिल ईस्ट में बच्चे इंडिया पढ़ने आते हैं, अफ्रीका से बच्चे इंडिया पढ़ने आते हैं. ये ट्रेडिशनल वो है, ये फ्लो है, ये ह्यूमन टेंडेंसी है. और आज की टाइम के अंदर मेरे अपने कम से कम 15 स्टूडेंट ऐसे हैं जो अपने स्टार्टअप्स यूएस में छोड़ करके दे कम बैक टू इंडिया, दे स्टार्टेड देयर स्टार्टअप इन इंडिया इटसेल्फ एंड दे आर डूइंग वंडर्स.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. Very insightful thoughts, great examples. And I think this is a topic which can go on and on. We hope to interact with you informally in the next few minutes that we have. Thank you, panelists, and thank you for this opportunity.
Can we have a big round of thunderous applause, ladies and gentlemen? Team, picture. Okay, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are beginning with the final segment, that is Career Changemaker Awards 2022, powered by CareerGuide.com. Team, can we play the clip?